We've never spoken about the group after we split.
You know, now I look back at it, I wish I sort of spoke up a little bit to go, I can do that. Can I try it? We were underage.
Wow! She was such an individual that she didn't even know who she was.
And honestly, I burst into tears.
Apologise for what, though? Cliche days?
For making me feel, over the years, the way I felt.
I wasn't expecting that.
Well, I was kind of the fat one of the group, wasn't I? So we were told, well, more so me, I was told that I needed to lose weight. She's a bird that was trapped and she needed to fly.
But then do you think that would have made a difference?
Probably not, no. I'm so glad that you were able to share this story, because so many people go, what happened?
It doesn't mean that you're going to be the most successful in life. We will all be successful. We want to be successful. You ain't the shit. You ain't the shit.
Legacy through the lens.
Hey everyone, welcome to a bonus edition of Legacy Through the Lens. I'm currently in the part of my 40-year career story, Cliche Saga, my girl band years in the 90s. If you missed it, you need to go back. I was in a girl band in the 90s called Cliche. We had some songs in the charts, we did some cool stuff, and then we split. And it ended terribly. No one knows how, nobody knows why, until today. So of all three of us, there's me, there's Candii, and there's Alani. I knew that the chances were I wouldn't be hearing from Alani, but Candii got in touch and she said she liked what I was doing. But she also said she wanted to have her say. So I said, let's make it happen. I'm currently in Grenada, and so I'm not in my usual Legacy Through the Lens studio. This isn't set up for me to do this, but I just felt that it was so important to bring you this story whilst it's hot. And we're going to talk about the life and times of Cliche, how it really ended, and it gives Candii a chance to have her say. So let's go. Candii Cherry, my original Cliche cousin. I think the last time we saw each other was probably one of my birthday kitchen discos. We were doing some Beyonce moves.
Yes,
kitchen.
yes. Please do not show any clips of that.
I think I will now that I said it.
I was busting my Strictly Come Dancing moves, honestly.
Obviously, when it comes to professionally, as in Cliche, this was over almost 30 years ago.
Yeah. There's probably a lot of things you don't even know.
Well, exactly. We've never spoken about the group after we split. No matter how many times we've seen each other over the years, we've never spoken about the group. Whether that was consciously, unconsciously, or because we couldn't be bothered.
The biggest shock of all, and you don't think anything like that would happen. You kind of feel a bit invincible. We've been doing it for such a long time. We sacrificed, gave our all, that we all just never spoke about it. And went our separate ways, it was like we just had to grieve, if that's the right word, without waking up, sleeping and breathing next to each other, because that's all we knew. Like, how much time did I spend at your house? Or all of us, should I say. Like you said, because we didn't really talk about it, or we didn't really comb through all that we achieved and what we'd done, and it was just a massive flashback. And I just thought, wow, you know, and it is a proud moment too, because you just think, yeah, so that we did that, you know what I mean? And it is something that we have to hold. I always hold it dear to my heart, because everything we learned and did collectively at such a young age has made us who we are now, really. And I just take that forward with me in everything that I've done. I'm so glad that you were able to share this story, because so many people go, what happened? And you're like, I don't want to talk about it. And you just move on.
But it was a proud moment. So when you watched the series back, you know, you said it was like a big flashback. Was there anything in there that made you feel super emotional?
I mean, the whole thing was emotional, to be honest, and it still is. It's still just even talking about it, going through things, because it's making you think like, wow, you know, what we achieved, what we did. It's a massive, massive part of my life, you know.
The whole point was I was doing it, A, for the culture and for the music history. we played our part. We played our part. And even just the whole story, my legacy through the lens, is basically me saying, I played my part in this. You don't need to know me. Not everyone needs to know me. I don't need to be a household name, but I played my part. And this is me showing all the parts that I played. And we, as young girls, put in so much, not just as young women, but for the culture. We helped UK R&B. We helped to build it. We were in the movement. So why should we be forgotten when people are speaking about girl bands? Why should Cliche not be thrown into the mix? We did it.
We're all a part of it. And there's so many girl bands that never get a mention, to be honest. And they just pick on the main ones, you know, the Bewitched, the Spice Girls, the main ones that had all the top tens, and that's it. Everyone else, the foundation, the base, the influences, everybody forgets about those.
Yeah. But do you remember going back right to the beginning? Do you remember singing at that family party where we got discovered, singing, Daddy, are you ready?
What's going on? Yeah, oh, absolutely. That was our thing. That was our jam. We thought we were so cool. We were cool. We were good.
That's what I said.
We were. I think we were. Go give us props there. And the family were like, yeah, like, let's do this.
They're like, these girls are good. Yeah. We would do these big performances for the family. And then after that, we obviously got together. It started off as For You to See with Selena, your sister, Lisa, the Honeys.
Yes.
How is Sal? How is she doing?
Good. She's
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
You guys
just finished Panto.
Oh yes, it was Panto
As Fairy
season.
Honey.
Obviously.
Could be anything else, could it?
Exactly.
But yeah, she's working hard, doing good.
Good. And I love the fact that obviously the Honeys have had a resurgence in the last few years, and you're an honorary honey at the moment, which we will get onto, you know, but for me, you'll always be a Cliche cousin. Do you still ever listen to the Cliche unreleased album?
Do you know what? I think the first time I listened to it, I think a fan was like, oh my God, you know, saying some stuff, and then posted some of the songs. And it had been a long time since I listened to it. And this is probably the first time, even Selena hadn't really heard it, actually.
Wow.
And she went, you're singing on there. I went, yeah, I am actually.
And you were
and
good.
it even surprised myself.
But you were
because
good.
You were, at the time, you know, we our confidence was knocked. It was knocked a lot, you know? So it was like, wow, I actually forgot about it. They gave me a little bit of an opportunity to sing a lead. Like this is, and it shouldn't even be a surprise like that. But unfortunately for us, back in the day, it was they wanted Alani to be the singer, to be at the front, and we were just doing our thing at the back, you know? So yeah, so it must have been probably about 2 years ago. So that was a little, that was a bit of a wow. And I thought, hold on, that's a tune. That's another tune. Oh, we wrote that. Oh yeah, and we wrote that one as well. Oh my, seriously, it was ahead of time. But I tell you what, if you were to play it now and give it a little revamp, it would just go down the storm.
I think our production values then were high. I think as writers, we were incredible writers. We wrote that song, Life's Too Short, at the age of 13, 14.
Baby, there's no turning back. If your heart's being misled, I'll make you try to forget.
For people who haven't heard that album, the unreleased album, it is out there. Go and check it out. And when you're listening to it, bear in mind, this was mostly written and recorded in the early 90s. Going back to our first public appearance at Subterranea. Do you remember that night?
Not really.
Wow!
Seriously. No.
Wow.
Not really. No.
I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, I don't. It's bad, isn't it?
No, it's
The
not
only
bad. It's not
memory
bad.
I have is literally getting ready to go on stage. And do you remember that Brandy song was playing? And
I want to be...
and I'm like, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I remember us, that bit behind stage. We were being filmed on the camcorder. I remember the shot of you like, damn.
But we were quite relaxed. I don't remember being nervous.
No, we took it in our stride. Like, we were so confident we were like, yeah, we're going out there, we're going to smash it. And smash it we did. And I think that's why the crowd went wild, because how could you not go wild for 3 confident young girls? I remember our backs were turned, spun round, and the first lyrics were, nigga, and nothing like this when it was trying to get better. That's all I remember.
Oh my
and the crowd just screamed. And it was me rapping, and we were like, do you remember that rap?
I remember that, yes. Jesus Christ. Wow. Yeah. Listen, I've still got baby brain 12 years later, but that is just unbelievable.
That's where the memory ends for me. It's just, all I hear is nigga and nothing like this, because everything was nigga, wiggada.
Yeah. Daddy Mac.
Daddy Mac, Mickety Mac. You know, so it was all of that. And that's all I remember. I remember the crowd going, whoa. And everything else goes blank for me.
And I remember the feeling. I remember
packed.
it being packed. But one thing did resonate, and I didn't really think about that until you mentioned it, that we were underage.
In all these clubs.
Yeah, we did a lot of club tours. We didn't stop. Sometimes we were doing like 3 clubs in one night.
Mm-hmm.
Who does that?
Yeah. Because even talking about it, I had to unlock memories that I couldn't remember. And that's why I said in the beginning, recollections may vary, because there's things here that I remember that you don't, and vice versa. We had our different ways of thinking, we had our different styles, but we had a chemistry. And we had a work ethic. And when we weren't in the studio, we were rehearsing. When we wasn't rehearsing, we were in vocal training. When we weren't in vocal training, we were in dance rehearsals. When we went in dance rehearsals, we were at the gym on treadmills, singing at the same time.
Not go there with that.
Singing at the same time. I know, the gym, we were like a size 6, but they were saying
Well, are you forgetting what happened with that?
What? Remind me, what happened?
Well, I was kind of the fat one of the group, wasn't I? So we were told, well, more so me, I was told that I needed to lose weight. Yeah. Yes. I don't know if you knew that. Yes.
Well, I must have known it, but obviously things are going to affect the things that resonate. So tell me.
The depth of who said it and how, I don't, because I've just gone and shut that out of my head.
Of course.
But at the time, I know I was told you need to, like, the other 2 are slimmer than you. You need to watch what you eat and cut down. Yeah.
I mean, you know, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing because we were a size, me and Alani were about a size 4 to 6, and you were an 8. Yeah, you were literally a size 8, okay? If you were the biggest one, you were a size 8. And you're right, there was this notion at the back of, okay, Candii was the curvier one. Yeah. And it's laughable because you're like, she's a size 8. She was a size...
I know.
Did you feel inadequate in the group, and why?
I think, obviously, it's without a doubt, Alani had the strongest voice out of all of us. So it was kind of, it just turned into like the norm, where it would be like, right, we're in the studio, right, Alani, can you go in the booth? You take lead on this, and we'll just sit there going,
that's good. It's good take.
When do we do our harmonies? When do we go in? After she's in there for like 4 hours. You know, it just, you know, now I look back at it, I wish I sort of spoke up a little bit to go, I can do that. Can I try it?
It must have sat in our heads, because even for me, I never felt like I was in control until I became a presenter. Because now, what can anyone tell me? I'm in control of how I stand, how I speak, what I present to the world. And when it came to singing, we all started. I didn't think I couldn't sing. Yeah, I was the rapper, because in those days I thought I was cool anyway. And, you know, like I said, I was the rapper, I was the rough one compared to you lot. You lot were in your matching little hats and blazers and suits. And I was like, went to Dalston for my little 2 pieces. Do you know what I mean?
You brought the edge.
Right.
Our personalities and knowledge combined. Because
it was perfect.
Sure the same way you learnt from us, we learnt from you. It was like a joint thing, really.
Exactly. No, it was completely collaborative. Yeah. But I think my point was the way it was always, you know, kind of like you say, Alani's in the booth for hours. We're sitting there just like waiting for our turn. And you said that you wish you spoke up more. But then do you think that would have made a difference?
Probably not, no.
No, I don't, because even as an adult looking back, I don't think it would have made a difference.
They knew what sound they wanted, and her voice was the strongest. And I agree. You know, there's a lot of songs that I'd probably think, wow, I couldn't really reach that note, to be fair. So fine. But we all did contribute in our own ways with our own sound. And if we were given more of that opportunity to explore it or to be pushed to those levels to go, oh, keep going, you can go there. Let's do that, take again. And, you know, confidence is a major thing. And that could, you know, determine so much.
But the thing is, Candii, you're doing it. And even though you say there's that part of you, and there probably will always be that part of us that will lack that confidence, I can see, even from the outside, because I knew you so well back then, I know you've grown. And you heard me say it in one of the episodes, I think, didn't you? I said it on one of the episodes. I said, you know, Candii looking back was super shy, but how she is now, she's a woman now. There was a girl, right? We were girls. And Candii is a woman. Like, you don't play with Candii either. Candii would tell you what she needs to tell you. Back then, she wouldn't have. You would have lied away. You would never have given your voice or opinion. And it was always Alani and I who had the biggest.
You did. You were both the loudest. You had both had the biggest bark. And I think, thank God, I had that calm, tame personality to be like, Lee, just leave it. Just like calm it. Just it's not working.
That's true.
Like, Alani, right, go for a walk.
That is
like
true.
Being that go-between.
When you look back, though, do you remember any of the arguments, or in there any that stand out or spring to mind?
Not in particular. I remember there were a lot of little cat fights. There were loads. But that's like everybody. You know, we literally were in each other's knickers. You know, like constantly eat, sleep, breathe, repeat for weeks, months. And it went on and on and on and on. So it's like siblings, your sisters, you're going to argue now and then, you're going to bicker, you're not going to agree on stuff. And especially when we're trying to collectively create, everyone's going to have a difference of opinions. And sometimes, we did clash on it, but not in and tell me if I'm wrong. I don't remember anything.
Okay, I remember one. Well,
First
of all, do you remember when me and Alani had a massive bust up over the Maxwell song? Because I held the note and she didn't. And she was so annoyed, she like whacked me. And then we got into some big fight. Colin had to stop the car and we had to get out the car. Yeah.
I do remember you having like a ruckus, like one big
ruckus.
But I don't remember what it's about. It's literally...
Yeah. It was like, you know the Maxwell song when he goes...
One morning.
Thank you.
That's
that one.
What is that?
It was
I know what you mean.
And it was through that, we had a massive row because
I'm not going to listen to that song the same now.
I know, now you're going to hear that. But yeah, she whacked me and then obviously I weren't having that. So big bus up in the Space Cruise on the middle of the motorway and Colin had to stop off the motorway to break us up fighting in the back of this. And you were there, but clearly it wasn't that traumatic.
Yeah, probably I was sleeping. I probably just thought, oh, not again. I can't be dealing with it.
Shut up, you two.
Yeah, get on with it.
Shut up.
They'll be friends like the next day.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, isn't it? When we started this, it wasn't you're the lead and you're the this and you're the that. We were just a collective group singing. And it became about you in the front and you two at the back. None of us asked that. So did you ever feel like that, those separate times? Did you ever know what Alani's problem was? Did you ever get to the bottom of it?
I mean, only because I see her very, very now and then. I would say only this last sort of year. It wasn't heavy, but she did apologise, which was quite, it was quite nice to hear. I'm not going to go too deep into it.
No, that's fair. Apologise for what though? Cliche days?
For making me feel over the years the way I felt. Just told her, really. But like I said, we were so young. So it wasn't intentional. And I think at the time, Alani was always an individual anyway, whether it was to do with the group or not. She's just a unique character.
She's a unique character.
And I think a lot of it came from her not knowing who she was. And I think she had those demons with trying to find herself and where she belonged. And if you don't know who you are, you can't give yourself to the world. Yeah, it's one of those things you like you said, life gets in the way, you just put things behind. But it is healing as well. And I've always not been one of those that openly speak about things and I just go, all right, shit happens next. But you have to, because it's a part of moving forward. You have to deal with it. She just went, sit down. I went, what do you mean? She went, sit down, I'm going to cook. I went, sorry, what? Just tell me where everything is in the kitchen and I'll cook for you. And honestly, I burst into tears. And I just, I don't sit still. As you know, I work so hard, I don't sit still. And I do need to take that on par now to say, just chill.
And the thing is, it's the fact that you just went, oh my God, she cares. You see, I never thought Alani doesn't care. I think when we're young, and maybe that's now me, like you say, looking as an adult. I guess when we were young, I thought she didn't care.
We look
She
at it
was
from a
selfish.
different way.
Yeah, we're
Yes.
looking at a different
Yeah,
lens.
yes.
If I go back to 15-year-old Leah, looking at the situation, I would say Alani's selfish. She just cares about herself. She just wants, it wasn't even the fact that she wanted to be the star. I don't think any of us were like that. No one, in other
No,
girl groups, people
no.
want to be the star. None of
Yeah.
us wanted to be the star.
No.
It was more just like, you coined it there when you said she was such an individual that she didn't even know who she was, that you couldn't even tame her. Then we're all teenagers in hormones. Then you also had that sort of balance of the record company and management constantly kissing her and licking
And
her.
she has an amazing ear. Her voice is amazing.
Incredible,
And
and
she's
musically.
such a perfectionist.
Yes.
That should be like, no, do it again. Or, oh, no, I think you should do it like that. So for us as young kids, we're like, how rude. Why is she telling us how to sing but she, I don't know. Like I said, she's just a very talented, rare individual.
I wish we'd have stuck together more. I wish we just kept our minds on business and just said, let's do this until we make this what we need to
And
make
then
it
go
to
our
work.
separate
And
ways.
then we could go our separate ways, because we put too many years into this now to just flush it down the bloody
We're so
pan.
young. Who thinks so ahead like that?
I know.
This is the thing, and it's always the ifs, buts, could have. We all live like that in everything we do. It's just, it is sad looking back at that, because there could have been that one little chance that one of us, if we spoke out, could have saved it. But I do believe, in regards to Alani, she's a bird that was trapped and she needed to fly.
Yeah. Because she is an artist. It's not just about music. She's an artiste
is,
in every sense of the word.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
way she thinks, the way she moves, it's just, we called her Lardy-Dardy for a reason, She's like airy-fairy. That is Alani. She's an individual artiste. And I respect it. As somebody who, had to carve out a whole new career, and you've had to do the same, obviously I've stuck in entertainment, but I respect what she's about. I may not understand it. I may not be into her music now or anything like that, but I respect her as an artiste.
Yeah, artist.
And
absolutely.
I'm like, good for you. You continue being an artist, but you're right. Because of that, you realise now, we never stood a chance. We never stood a chance in any of that. For me, I don't look back. I don't have any bad feelings towards you or Alani. I see that as probably the best years of my life. I also see it as, like I said in there, my heart was broken, not by a boy. My heart has never been broken by any
Aren't you
man.
lucky?
The way, no. Of course it's been broken to be honest, bipolar broke me. Bipolar absolutely broke me. But, in terms of my first heartbreak wasn't through a boy. It was from my Kleshay cousin, from Alani, saying it's over.
Yes.
It's done. I don't want to do this anymore. Do you remember that day? Do you remember when she sat us down?
Yeah, I
What
do.
do you remember?
I just have this very vivid memory of us all being really deeply upset, sitting in your living room. Whether it was a follow-on conversation, that this is it, we're going to separate. I remember it so clearly. It was just cold. It was just no words. Yeah, I that's all. I've got a very big image of that, but not remembering exactly why. But I know it was to do with that was like the end. And another image of when we got the fax saying that there was no more, and Tony read it out to us into Lindy's kitchen. Do you not remember that? Yeah, we were all together.
Oh, a fax is in the FAX. A fax.
letter. Fax.
From the record company.
Yes. Yeah. Do you not remember that?
No.
That there's no more Cliche. It's terminated. Yeah.
I don't remember the key things of how it ended. My thing was as I said it in the mini-series, I remember being somewhere and Alani going, right, that's it, I'm not. And there was a big argument. And I remember screaming at her saying, it doesn't matter how great your voice is, doesn't matter whether you're the strongest singer, it doesn't mean that you're going to be the most successful in life. We will all be successful. We want to be successful. You ain't the shit. You ain't the shit.
I do remember that as well.
That's what I remember.
Yeah.
Just saying, I don't care if you're Whitney, you have the voice of Whitney Houston. It doesn't mean that you're going to make it in life just because you have the best voice. You know, Candii and I, we're still something. We can still make something. And that is why we continued for, we tried.
We did try.
Minutes.
I know.
Do you remember that process?
Absolutely. So much of it. I think we came down to Rosalind. Do you remember Rosalind? Light skin, she had freckles, really pretty, lovely girl.
Remember a really pretty girl that we chose? She was really pretty. She was, I think, even shorter than you.
She was.
You were the shortest.
Yeah,
so that made me like up there, and then you were there, and she was like there.
Or if we started with her and it just wasn't quite, and then we got one more girl in.
Yes, something like that. No, you're onto something. There became 4 at one point. Something wasn't matching. We said, let's add
really
someone.
bad, but I don't remember.
Or someone left. Yeah, something happened. You're right. But it was very short-lived.
I do remember Rosalind, yeah.
Okay, so go on the confession.
Because I think at one point she went to Sylvia's or something like that. And we did try. We did. Fair play. But it just, once it's broken, isn't it? It's a bit like a relationship. You just... You know, we thought, right, well then if the name's not going to work, let's change the name because we can't be Cliche again. There's only one Cliche. Let's change the name, try to change the name, find a name. I think we did. It just wasn't going in the right, the dynamics were just wrong. I don't know how this started, but then I went into another girl group. Did you know?
I think you did tell me, you know,
it
something vague.
Secret.
I totally forgot about all of this lore. Wow, well, there's a whole story there. And this is why I think doing this process, this legacy through the lens, the Cliche Saga, even this bonus episode with you, which I think the fans are going to love. It's so interesting because it's brought up so many different memories. I mean, we could keep speaking forever. We've got so 5 minutes on this chat though, and I do want to touch on the debt. So was that the same day in the kitchen when our management got the fact?
Maybe that's what I'm thinking, or
why we were so sad and shocked, because now we're told that
we're in.
Not only is it over, the contract is terminated, but we're now in over £100,000 of debt. I do remember that. I do remember hearing those words coming out of Tony's mouth and just going, and that you're probably right. That was probably what you're describing.
Maybe,
yeah. It was a sucker punch. It was
such an important part of our life. It's quite bizarre that it's quite numb. I just don't remember a lot of it. I mean, 100 grand, yes, a lot of money. Now, people put that deposits on houses right now, and it's just like, yeah, it's nothing. But we were so young.
Like I've never said to you, how long did it take you to get out of that debt?
So it took me a while, but I had to progress in my job roles, basically. Telephone operator, receptionist, secretary, administrator, then a PA, and then I ended up going into London doing EA. Yeah, so I worked my ass up all the way till I was on a decent salary, but it took me years.
It took me probably the best part of over 20 years actually to get myself out of the debt.
Wow.
Because obviously the first how many years of getting into television is volatile, isn't it? You're like a jobbing actor. 1 minute you're in work, next minute you're out. 1 minute you have money, then you don't. Yeah. And so it's 25 years in TV this year actually that I started. I would say for the first 10 years, I was still moonlighting, doing other jobs behind the scenes. In the last 10 years that I've been able to slowly, finally clear that completely off, that cliche debt is no longer over my head. We've learned a lot about our mental health. And I think it's no longer acceptable to just be like, oh, we're strong women and we're strong black women. I'm just going to hold the mantle. No, screw that. No, no. I'm not a hard black woman. No, I'm not. I'm a soft black woman. And I deserve softness. I deserve to, I've been working since I was a child and actually deserve now to, you know, put some respect on my name and to breathe and to sit back. And I guess that's why I'm here telling my story, and I wanted to share the Cliche legacy because I felt that was really important, not just for me, but for us as what we did collectively. And whether Alani is proud of the group or not proud of the group, I'm still proud of her for being part of the group.
Deep down, she is.
Alani, if you're watching this, you better be proud, all right? You better be proud. No, I mean, look, we're going to have a part 2 at some point, and
Yes.
you never know.
Yeah.
We might be able to get her on. I mean, the last time I spoke to her was a couple of years ago, and I mentioned to her, I said to her, look, it'll be really good if maybe the 3 of us could get together for a podcast. I said it might be quite cathartic, it might be really therapeutic, we might be able to get some stuff off our chests.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it got into an argument, and that was the last time that we've spoken.
That's a shame.
Yeah, it's a shame. And we hadn't spoken for years before that, so we were only just rebuilding something potentially, and it all kind of went left, and it reverted back to being 15. And who I am at this age and who I am at 15, we're not doing that. And we're not going back and calling slurs and going back to, well, you've not doing that.
Yeah.
So I set the boundary and I stepped back, and I've stepped back ever since. But it doesn't mean the door's not open and that I wouldn't be open for us having a chat. I'd love that, because I'm proud of the group. And I think all of us have our own point of view. We all have our own thought process and memories, and they're all valid. Whether we agree or not, it's all valid.
Yeah. And she may have a different vision and say something completely different to how we felt around the studio times, but she probably will.
She will. And I'd be interested to hear it. And that's not even any shade. I'd be interested to hear it. But it'll be nice one day to have a full circle moment and maybe just have a collective closure on the most biggest thing of our young lives.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well,
So what do you
look forward to it? If it can happen, brilliant. But you know what? If it doesn't, I'm okay with it. I'm at peace.
Yeah.
And like I said, there's no animosity there. It was a massive part of our life, and it's a massive part of hers, whether she wants to deny it or not as well.
So what do you think the chances are of a Kleshay reunion?
Probably not. We'll see. We will see.
I get asked that all the time, and I keep saying
know.
to people, get out of your heads. It's never going to happen. Before we say goodbye, do you remember the Cliche Rush rap?
I get a rush with the rap. Look. Oh God, am I saying it really bad?
No, you're doing the first ever version. You're not doing the released version. You're doing the first ever version that nobody knows, which is I get a rush with your lush love. It feels so good. It makes me flush and blush.
Feels so good. Make me wanna something
with the funky stuff. It's a must that I feel it.
Feel it.
My inner thoughts get loose. You got me caught, but can you deal with
Deal with it.
Blase, Lade, the one and only Frisco, letting you know that this
the world is the biz though.
And the only thing that stayed was KLE, SHAY, we put a rush on you each and every day.
We're not time to play, my honeys.
Which your sister thought until a few years ago that I put that in the song to throw shade at her and the honeys.
Of course.
And obviously, you know me and Celine have our own relationship. One day she said to me, did you put that in there to throw shade at us? And I was like, no, I didn't even write that line. I always saw it as a big up because
honey.
Yeah. But no, the one we released was
come into my head.
Not one, not two, but three times
more. Cliche, got you moving on the dance floor all night. Making you move side to side when you got it if you want it. Take it if you need it. To the left, Candii, to the right, Alani, me, Leah in the middle to rock the party.
Ooh-wee.
KLE, SHAY, why we put a rush on you each and every day with no time to play, my hands.
Bravo! Bravo! Next time, I'll see if you know the dance routine.
Oh yeah, I got it. Yeah. Come on
you
now.
Still remember the dance routine?
Yeah.
Wow.
Let me think. Hold on. I was about to stand up then and do it.
Oh man, she can't stand. Man, yeah, we're gonna have to arrange that for next time. But I would love to know if you still remember that dance routine. Because it's embedded in our minds. But listen, thank you so much for taking the time out for me, for the people who loved Cliche, for the people who are watching this series. It's certainly been a roller coaster, and it's been great hearing your point of view. You were important to this, Candii. I'm so happy that you did that. Nah, you were important to this. And I would like Alani to be part of it too, but You are important to this because there were three of us, and I'm glad it wasn't just my voice.
Yeah.
In this.
Oh, well, I'm glad I got to share my side of the story as well.
I love you, my cliche cousin.
Love you.
See you later. Have a good night.
Take care, darling.
Love ya. Bye. We definitely need to have another part to this for sure. And maybe next time we might be able to get Alani. You never know. That was a really interesting conversation. And I hope you enjoyed it. If you have a question that you would like to ask Candii or any of us for the next time we sit down, then please write it in the comments. And you never know, it just happened, so it might happen again. What was your standout part of this interview? Were there any revelations that you had no clue about and you're so glad you now know? Did we set the record straight, or do you think this is still just the tip of the iceberg? Anyway, I will see you next time for the next Legacy Through the Lens, and it's how I break into TV. Are you up for it? Look who has bust their way into the studio. I'm so excited because the S Club Juniors are here. Oh, wow. That is so delicious. Anyway, we'll be back next week. But everyone shut up. We're still tuned in to CITV, and right now we have a bit of a treat because Kenzie, Reaper, Flavour, Melody and Spikey are all in the studio from Blazing Squad for more Payback. And yes, it's the last one of the series, a bit sad, but you know what, it's going to be great.
Wrong, this is a poem for Leah. Oh, Leah, I love you. I'm crazy over you. I think you're really pretty. I really want to snog.
We've got to find ourselves some new.
You're so right. We're doing the so out of rhythm one. Go, girl.
Yeah.
Stop that.
So stay with me as we go from girl band dreams to breaking glass ceilings on the screen.
And dreams to breaking glass ceilings on screen. This is Legacy Through the Lens. Through the lens. Legacy Through the Lens.